Hey friends, welcome to my channel. Today I've got something fun and special planned for all of you, but first I want to say a special thank you for stopping in today to visit me here on my channel and in my craft room. Now we are going to be making 5 really beautiful Dollar Tree Valentine's Day crafts that have a nice neutral feel to them, but they're also really fun and colorful. Alright, now let's get crafting. This DIY is super simple, and these heart grapevine wreaths, they're like mini wreaths, but they're grapevines is what they're calling them at the Dollar Tree. These are the cutest thing they came out with this whole Valentine's Day season. I love these hearts. I'm obsessed with them. So I thought this would be the cutest thing to turn into a cute banner. You can honestly do anything you want with these, but I just love how they looked all strung up together. I took some gingham ribbon, bound them together, and then now I'm going to add on some roses, some of the greenery, and a bow. I thought putting these in between the hearts would look really darling, and it's super simple to do. Easy project without spending a lot of time on it. So I went ahead and just cut the greenery down to size that I needed. And I also love these flowers. These are also new this season. I love them so much. They're so cute. I love how dainty the flowers are. And then I added my greenery, my bow, my heart, and then on the end, I'm going to take a long piece of this ribbon. I'm going to fold it over just like I did to all the halfway points in between the hearts. Glue that little part down, and then I'm going to string on some wooden beads. I love using wooden beads, and I thought this would be a really pretty touch at the end of this darling little garland that you can hang up somewhere in your home. So once you've got that knot on there, you can see I folded it in half and knotted it, and then I cut off the extra and glue into place. Okay, this one might be my favorite DIY because I love these little houses. I know so many of you have had such a hard time trying to find these houses. I ended up purchasing them online. So I found some inspiration a long time ago with these cute little houses that were made out of 2x4 logs or sticks, 2x4s. We're just going to say that and stick with that. And I'm going to be copying the inspiration of that with their color scheme. I found that on Pinterest a long time ago. So I painted one house a really pretty gray and another house white, and then I added the little windows, and now I'm coming back in with those sticks again, those popsicle sticks, and I'm going to cut 2 of them down to size to make little doors on the house. Now these houses can be used so many different ways, but I decided to use the back side because it really went along with the inspiration picture that I just fell in love with. So once I did that, I decided I needed some hearts. And this is again why I like these sticks. So I'm sketching on half of a heart. I cut all the way across. And the trick is you want to cut off clean lines versus trying to round the corner. It'll splinter less and it'll allow you to be able to get the shape that you want. So once I had the half of the heart, I went ahead and flipped it over, traced it on again to make sure that they match up nicely with one another. And then I went ahead and followed the same steps to cut that out. Once I had it all cut out, I was able to glue it onto the top of my white house. And they come together so perfectly, so cute. What an affordable way to be able to have a heart on hand for your spring and Valentine's Day themes that you're doing. Then I decided to paint it a creamy yellow. I thought that would be really pretty. And then I'm coming back in with a coral pink color. I love coral pink so much. I think it is such a pretty color. So I'm just adding in some yellow to the pink that I had on hand. And then I'm going to paint that on the door to make the door really stand out on this cute little house. Once I had that one painted, I moved back over to the other door. I took some brown paint, black paint, and then a little tiny bit of gray and some water to make almost like a stain for my little sticks. And I'm just really carefully taking my time on that so I don't get it on anything I don't want it to get it on. And then I'm coming back in with some nails, and I'm just going to hammer that into the top. I put 2 on one of the houses and then 1 on the other. And then on that wood stain, once it was done drying, I came back in with a really tiny fine tip brush, and I'm just going to hand paint on these cute little ferns I thought this would be so pretty and so delicate, but yeah, a little surprise. I like little things like this on my home decor because it, you know, catches your eye and it looks so cute on a shelf. Then over on the house, because there are 5 family members, I'm going to put 5 for the ensembles. And once I had that painted, I went and made one more little heart. I thought, why not? Let's put one on the other house on the door. And I painted that little heart pink. I just think that this is such a cute, darling little touch. Now the last part, again, you can skip this if this is not your thing, but I really do like a little bit of a distressing because I just feel like I have a lot of white creamy walls and it makes things just stand out more. This DIY is going to be using this new Shiplap heart, some paper, text paper, and some florals. It's really easy to do, and honestly I think this ended up being my favorite project in this whole video because I just love how it turned out. It was so simple to make and it was so pretty. So I'm just using some hot glue. I'm gluing down my paper onto the heart, and then I'm just pushing with my nail along the edge to rip it, coming back in with a piece of sandpaper, sanding along the edges to rough it, and it gives a nice clean cut when you do it that way. This is the quick way to do it instead of having to trace a piece of paper and cut it out. This is one of my favorite tricks. Once I got all of the paper onto the heart, I came in with my dry brushing skills and I just dry brushed around the edge. I know this is debatable. Some people don't like the dry brushing bringing in that brown texture. You don't have to do that part. You can completely skip that part. And then at this point, I'm adding in some of the greenery, some of the florals, and I think pink and yellow together are just so pretty. So that's kind of the color scheme I'm going with this one. Maybe this is the reason why I liked this one the most, I don't know, but I just love how this turned out. So I'm adding in some more greenery and 3 roses, and then all of these little rose buds. They're just so adorable. I love this rose so much. It comes in a whole bunch of different colors. There's even a really pretty purple one and an ivory cream one. There are so many pretty colors on these little roses. Then once I had all of that situated how I liked, I went ahead and took the original string that was on it, and I'm just going to thread on some beads at the top. And then once I've got enough beads on it, I'm going to go ahead and stick that back into the hole so that I can hang it up somewhere in a home. I think this is going to go in my daughter's room because it's just so cute and it matches the colors of her room. This DIY, we are going to be using this heart wreath form and then some fabric that I have on hand. Now this fabric is not in the kit, obviously, but anybody that has fabric on hand, this is a really cute one to try because I'm sure if you're crafty, you probably have a bunch of fabric laying around, or you can even use old clothes that are getting ready to go out for donations. I use things like that all the time, even a sheet. You can use an old fitted or top sheet. You can also use that to be able to cut up and make one of these with. So this project is super simple. You saw that earlier I cut a little slit into the fabric and then I ripped all the way down so that I can make a whole bunch of these little rags, which is why it's called a rag wreath. And I'm going to just simply tie on the most neutral color that I have first. So I have a lot of this tan taupey color. I'm going to go all the way around the whole heart form. Once I've completed going all the way around, it's going to look like a hot mess at this point. Even when I was doing it, I was like, I don't know about this project. Maybe this should not be something I'm showing. And even my husband walked in the room and was like, Heidi, that's a bit of a mess. But at this point, I went to the next light color, which was a creamy white, and then I started adding in the pink. This is where it is super, super important to get the shape. You're going to take your iron that you have at home and you're going to iron down these pieces in the direction you want them to go. Then, to make sure it doesn't shift over time with it being wherever you place it, I'm adding little bits of hot glue here and there to kind of keep things clustered into the right shape that we want to keep the wreath from looking like it's starting to look sad over time. But the honest truth is as these wreaths get older and older, they just get prettier because it's meant to look very shabby farmhouse. And I just love it so much. So you can see on one side I've completed all the pink. Now I'm coming over to the other side and I'm adding in more. So I'm just pulling down the tan spots and then I'm adding in some pink. And I really wanted the tan to be the primary color with a little bit of pink. As I kept adding in more, I just kept ironing things down into place. Now when you get to the top is probably the most crucial part to make sure you get that part right. But again, this is really easy to do. It just takes some time to do because you're sitting here playing with it and fussing with it until you get it the way you like it. But when you get to the top, you want to make sure that you can see where it dips down and you can see where the arch of the heart is. So I'm really playing with the shape of this, adding in some hot glue, and then I'm going to flip it over on the back side and pull down around the pieces that are looking like they're sticking up too much. And then I'm going to take my iron and really flatten them to come down on the side like they're curving around the heart. At this point, it's looking really good. I played with a couple more little pieces just to make sure you can see the definition of the heart at the top. And then I decided it would be so pretty to add on some wooden beads. Again, I'm going to link these down below in my description box if you're interested in them. You honestly could use anything at the top. Then once you've got whatever you want to be able to hang this up on it, tie it onto that form and then hang it up somewhere inside or outside your home. I would definitely recommend inside, probably more than outside. This DIY is super simple. We are going to take these wooden hearts from the Dollar Tree and some nautical rope and start by untwisting the rope. This is a little tricky because the longer it gets, the harder it is to untwist. So just be patient with this and maybe put on a movie while you're untwisting it. You actually don't even need a movie's length worth, but I would just say maybe put on some music while you're untwisting it. Then once I had it untwisted, you can see that I added a little bit of hot glue to the end to make sure it didn't unravel. And now I'm just going to follow along the shape of the heart. When I get back down to the point, I started at the point, wrapped around, and when I got back down to the point, I pulled it around the front side of the heart to continue on coiling it around on this wood piece. These are going to turn into the most darling heart coasters that are neutral enough that you can keep out all spring long or even all year long, because I like having hearts in my home. I don't know what it is about the shape, but I have always loved it. Once you end up going all the way around, you get down to the end, you're going to take that last little bit and you're going to cut it off and just sneak it down in there with some hot glue without burning your finger, and then you're ready to use them for coasters. I always have so much fun crafting. It brings so much joy to my heart. Leave a comment down below if you feel the same way about crafting. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's projects. And if you're new, don't forget to click the subscribe button so that you don't miss those notifications when new videos are coming your way. I've got lots of fun plans for this year. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy this video as well. Thanks so much for stopping by and being my friend today. And until the next episode, bye friends.